Hi everyone, I'm Sandie La Nae. Welcome to Psychic Creations. We have an awesome show for you today. Our guest is a phenomenal multitasker and is multi-talented as she is an artist, a sculptor, an author, a teacher, and a radio show host. Oh my gosh, busy gal.
Busy.
Please welcome to Psychic Creations the wonderful Deana Hoover.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's an honor to have you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
This is fun. This is fun. All right. Well, let's see. I have a ton of questions to ask.
Okay, let's hope I have a ton of answers.
I think you will. You bet. First off, are you a native of Nevada?
Sort of. I mean, not literally, but very, very close.
Okay,
My
sure.
parents moved here when I was just a little kid, and even though I had an opportunity to leave, I came back because of family. So,
Sure.
So I grew up here, and I've pretty much been here most of the time.
Sure, right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, sure. I'm displaced from 1976. I've lived here longer than I did in California, so I consider myself a native too.
Yeah.
All right, let's first talk about your beautiful artistic talent. What piqued your interest in art?
I just always have done art. It's not like I ever actually felt like I had a choice. From the time I was very, very tiny, all I ever wanted to do was make art. Much to the chagrin of my teachers. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there are stories from when I was really tiny, and some of my very first memories are of finger paints and drawing on paper bags, and it's just what I always did.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was then I was pressured into doing the practical things, and so I got my education in things that weren't the right choice for me.
Right.
So I had to finally one day decide, no more of that. Let's get back to who I really am and just live my authentic self.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. You didn't lose that in life and growing up.
Thank goodness,
Mhm.
because it's what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. She's smart. Well, what types of paintings do you create? Abstract or scenery or?
Well, currently
Mhm.
it's abstracts that you can find only at Artsy Fartsy Art Gallery. They're exclusive carrier of my abstracts. I do a lot of animal paintings just because I love animals, and those are at first glance you just see an animal, but they also have a lot of colors and nuances in there that you wouldn't expect. And if you're ever interested, there are meditations that go along with the paintings. But you could very easily just go, oh, look, it's a painting of a cat, and keep going. That's okay too.
And do you create the meditations along?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
It's really, really fun. A lot of people, I'm trying to make a living doing the art, and a lot of people don't care so much about the meditations.
Oh, okay, right,
so
sure.
I thought, well, I don't know, maybe I should make something more mainstream, but that's currently what I'm doing as far as the paintings go.
Right.
And sculpting, I often just do smaller pieces just because I don't have access to, I use ceramics, and I don't have access to a lot of kiln space.
Right.
So, you know, that's a little bit more practical because
right.
I don't have my own kiln. So I'm using shared space, and that's just the nature of the beast, and that's okay.
Sure. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, what is your favorite work so far, if you happen to have a favorite work?
Probably it'd be one of two paintings, and one of them is my dog who has since passed away. She was my soul dog, and so of course that painting is not for sale.
Right.
And another one is of my cat, and again, it's one you could just look at and go, oh, it's a painting of a cat. But it's a very dramatic painting. It's quite large, and again, has the meditations that go along with it.
I love
Those
that
ones
idea.
are ones I'm very attached to.
Sure. Never for sale, right?
Never for sale.
Don't blame me for that. Oh, how fun. Well, what type of media do you work in? Oils or charcoal?
Usually oil. I mean, I like charcoal and I like to draw, but oil is my favorite. It's just it's a beautiful medium. You can mix colors in such elegant ways that no other medium really does. And it's very
okay.
forgiving.
What do you mean? I know nothing about painting.
Mistakes are really easy to fix.
Oh, all right. I like that idea.
Not that I ever make it.
Well, no.
But if I did.
Right, it's there.
Right.
How fun. What's your favorite color?
Well, sometimes it's green
Okay.
and sometimes it's purple, and I just can't choose between the two.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you use a lot of those, and like the off colors, like if you like red, you use pink or something, or I mean the blended colors.
Well, yes, there are a lot of really amazing things you can do with colors. So if you use something like red or pink, and then you go to the opposite side of the color wheel, and you use the nuances from the other side of the color wheel, which would be in the green department.
Okay, right.
And use just a touch of that. It creates a different feeling than you would, it can be very unconscious to the viewer, but it can create these beautiful nuanced feelings that are just psychological. I don't even know why it happens. It just does. And that is just fun to play with. And and then sometimes it's just, ooh, this is pretty.
I like that. I like how you think. That's wonderful. I wanted to ask you a question, and it's not on the list of questions. Do you feel like you channel some of your paintings? I got her.
Yeah. You gotta love it when someone comes up with a question that no one has ever asked before. And there are times where I absolutely, a painting, I don't even know where it comes from. And I might not even really know where it's going, and this is what's fascinating. So it's a different process. The process is the same on the canvas. I mean, the steps are the same, but what's happening inside of me is different. And there's something really fascinating that will happen, that my skin feels different. The surface of my body feels different when I'm doing a painting that way. So I just get this knowledge of a painting that needs to happen. I just get to it. I just do what needs to be done, and it feels different on my body.
Oh, that's amazing. Deana, that is amazing.
It's really cool when it happens.
Oh, I can imagine so. Oh, how fun is that?
It's really fun, and I've never made that happen on purpose.
Oh, sure, right, okay.
Right. So I can get into the zone just... So, for example, if I decide I have this painting that I want to do, and I can really get into the zone painting that, and it's a meditative process when it's going well.
Sure.
But that is different. So I don't know. I can't explain what's happening when the other.
Right.
Either way, I can't really explain it. But yeah, that's what happens.
Oh, I love that. I like to ask my guests if they do channel, because it's so, especially artistic people, and especially sensitive psychic people like you are too, it's so easy to, I don't know, bring forth something from somewhere. And like Deana was saying, it's just, you can't really explain it. It's just there.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And you just recognize this feeling, and you just go with it.
And it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Well, this is awesome. And that's your paintings. Now, you're also a sculptor. What is it that you like to sculpt?
I still really like to sculpt animals. But I also, I like to do things that are slightly different. So it wouldn't have to be an animal. If it's a house, it needs to be a crooked house. If it's, or if it's a little mask, it needs to be just a little bit different. It just needs to be different.
You can pick that up and show our viewers that, and isn't that beautiful? Oh gosh. What was the inspiration for this mask?
A rock that I wanted to put something on, and I thought, so I had this rock, and I saw the shape of it, and so I put the clay on there, and at that point I saw where a face could go, and so there's faces.
Incredible.
So.
Isn't that? And that's beautiful too.
Thank you.
That is awesome. What nice inspirations.
I love it that it can come from everywhere, anywhere.
So. And this is clay that you use.
Yes.
And is there any other media that you use?
No, it's just a glazed ceramic.
Isn't that beautiful? And you want to show our viewers your crooked house.
My
These
crooked
are
house.
beautiful. These are just beautiful. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Here's one of the crooked houses. I have a few crooked houses. Where's the front? I don't know. It doesn't have a front. Oh, this is the front.
That's the front.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute? That is amazing. Oh
So,
my gosh.
this is mixed media because it's
Okay.
the ceramic, and it's got oil paint, and I can't remember what I varnished it
Uh-huh.
with, but
Oh,
yeah.
isn't that beautiful? Little gnome or elf house or
Yeah.
fairy house.
So this is a little more cute. You know, I don't
Mhm.
always do the cute stuff, but
Sure.
sometimes
Mhm.
you feel like, you know, cute things.
Something different, sure.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That'd be like a really cool night light, I think.
Absolutely. I
Uh-huh.
have a little light to put in here. I'm going to show it at an upcoming show with some other
Ooh,
stuff.
okay.
And I think this one will have a
Oh,
little light.
That would be fun. Yeah, I like those. I like those. Where do you get your inspirations for your sculptures? Other pictures or other people's things, or where?
It can be. It can be. I do like, in addition to animals, the human form. I don't really think we're not animals. I think that is in there. I like the human form. I like hands. I like faces.
Oh.
And so I can see something that somebody has made that is of a human form or an animal form, and then that can spur an idea. I don't like to copy other
Right,
people's
right.
stuff,
Mhm.
but something about certain artists
Yeah.
will get
Mhm.
you going,
Well, then you make it your own.
and then you make it your own.
Mhm, right. How fun? How long does it take you to create a mask or a crooked house?
Well, I'm really fast at it for some reason. So, and I don't know why. I know why I'm fast at painting because I've been painting for a jillion years.
that's a long time. I like that.
Exactly. I counted once. It adds up to a jillion. But the sculpting I've only been doing for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years.
Oh.
And, but I'm still fast at it. And the only reason I even know I'm fast is because there's a lot of really slow people. And I thought, well, they're probably not all slow.
Sure. That's
So I can do one I can put something together like this in just a couple hours.
Oh.
But then, of course, it has to dry, and then it has to get fired and all of that. But
Yeah. But just the creation part.
Yeah.
First,
Mhm.
And then how long does it take to paint?
Also, I mean, like, so this little fella, yeah, probably just took an hour.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Well, that's nice time, isn't it? Is this like a
It's really
therapy and your meditative states
yeah.
too?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And back to the idea of inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
I find it is critically important not to wait for inspiration. So show up to the place, be ready to do the thing, whether it's whatever the art form is.
Uh-huh.
And you know this because you write. You don't sit there and go, well, do I feel like writing? You show up to write.
Mhm.
And sometimes it goes great.
Oh.
And sometimes it
Yeah,
doesn't.
right,
But you
exactly.
show up.
Mhm.
You make the time, you make the place, and you
Mhm.
show up, and then the inspiration can kick in. And when it does,
Mhm.
oh, there's nothing like it. It is meditative, and it's soothing. It takes your mind off other stuff.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Look at her aura, isn't it beautiful when she's talking? I love it.
So much better than alcohol.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love that. I know other artists and things too, and they say the same thing as you. It's a nice therapy. It's a nice way to escape the world.
Yeah.
Meditate. And you're in your zone, and you're all just you and your creativity. That's all there is.
That's all there is. Yeah.
Isn't that fun? That's
Yes.
awesome. That is awesome. All right. Well, let's see here. Now you're an art teacher,
Yes.
and you like doing that.
I love doing that.
What classes do you
Currently, I have ceramic sculpting.
Mhm. Oh,
And at the Beret Art Center. And I also have painting there. So it's any type of medium, any painting medium,
Oh,
any level, skill level.
nice.
And I love it because of the variety. So I'm always interested. I'm connected. I have to be present for whatever any student needs and what their questions are. And it keeps me engaged then.
Oh, sure.
If
Good
if
point.
everybody's the exact same level, I can prepare everything at home, know exactly what I'm going to say, show up and say it, and be done. That's not as fun for me.
No. No.
So, and I also teach writing, but the class is not running right now. But,
Okay. Sure.
but that's fun too.
And where is it that you hold your classes?
Most of them are at the Berea Art Center.
Oh,
I'm trying to finish creating some of them to be online accessible as well.
Oh, nice. Really?
Yeah.
Tutorials?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and full entire classes, like drawing classes. Everyone should have the ability to learn to draw, the freedom to learn to draw. And it's a shame that we take the arts out of the schools. And then people they grow up and feel like they can't draw.
Okay,
And it's
sure.
like, well, you can't draw because nobody ever taught you how to draw. They taught you how to read by breaking it down. They taught you how to do math by breaking it down. And then they tell you, go draw. Well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You need the basic steps. But now,
Right.
if you're an adult and you're learning it for the first time, it would be just like if you were learning to read as an adult. It would be a struggle. But once you've got those basic steps, you'd be able to do it.
Isn't that wonderful?
And shouldn't everybody have that?
I agree. I do.
Yeah. So that's what my class, when I get around to getting it online,
Well,
I'm
that would
working
be
on
good.
it, but you know, it takes time.
It does take time. It does. Especially a tutorial like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to go through, like you say, each
All of
and
it.
every step.
Yeah.
So that's a lot involved.
It is.
I know. I edit my own TV shows.
Yes, you know.
Now, you mentioned that you are an author and that you teach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first, what do you write and what do you teach?
Well, currently what I write is mostly radio, for the radio.
Oh, okay.
And just because that's where my attentions are right now. I have written short stories and novels. I've also written for the newspaper.
Oh,
For a little stint, I wrote for a really great magazine, but that was, well, that magazine went the way many magazines did, and
Sure.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That happens. But I like both fiction and nonfiction.
Okay.
So I do like writing news related, especially art news.
Oh, sure. Oh,
That's just
yeah.
yeah, that's just what interests me mostly.
Mhm.
But I also like fiction because it's just fun, and so the next class that I have, the next writing class that will be coming up, it's so much fun. All of the students. It's a short story writing class. So in the class, it's about writing fiction, writing short stories. They don't even have to be fiction. They can be nonfiction.
Okay.
But writing short stories and poetry. And at the
Oh.
end, I compile the student work and publish a paperback book so that students actually get to be published. It's really fun.
Oh, isn't that phenomenal?
It's really, really fun. And it's so rewarding
sure.
to get that book at the end.
Yeah, that they have a published work.
They have a published work.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful that you do that for your students.
They love it, and I love it, and it does take a little bit more work than a traditional writing class.
Sure.
Because, you know, I have to make the book happen.
Right, yes,
That
exactly.
means editing it, and then putting it into the proper files and submitting it, and then, of course, when you get the book back, you'll know this one too. That first time you get that first copy, and you're like, what happened here? All right, let's fix this, let's fix it.
Right, exactly, sure. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't tell you to have 3 blank spaces. I never
Exactly.
said that.
Yeah.
But it's really fun and it's worth it. And the Berea Art Center is going to be helping me out this time, and they said, you know, we could potentially do a little book launch there.
Oh, how fun.
So,
That's fun.
I think it's great for people to get that success.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah, because if you're sitting at home and writing and nothing ever comes of it,
Mm.
it's hard to get a feel for how it fits out in the real world.
Right, exactly. Well, that's awesome for your students, but are you a published author just yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay! Through newspaper and magazines, but also in the past I had books. And if you find any of them, they're not currently in print,
okay.
but these older books, there are a couple that I made the mistake of going with a publisher that they butchered my books. And so when I go back and I read one recently, and it's embarrassing. So
Oh.
I've decided, because it was small press sometimes things happen.
I get that. I understand. Yeah.
So I decided to go back and do a rewrite and
Good.
and then republish it. So
Nice.
hopefully that'll be coming back. There's a few different works and they should be coming back out. There's a book of poetry called Poems from an Ordinary Life, and that one you might still be able to find that one. But mostly these are older books that and it's time for some new work to come out into the world. I just need a little more time.
Oh, believe me, I know about time. I do. Well, awesome. Well, okay, we've got the author and the teachers. Oh my gosh, do you have time to sleep?
No.
I knew you were going to say that. Awesome. All right. Well, now, let's see. Let's go on to the not last but not least. You are a radio show host.
And now we're colleagues.
Yes, we are. We are. It's all her fault. I have a radio show now.
Not all my fault. It's your fault too.
Well, can you tell our viewers what that entails?
Absolutely. It's so much fun.
It is.
And it happened because I was teaching at the right place at the right time, and somebody said, the manager there said, how would you feel about doing an arts and entertainment program? Let's see what we can put together. And I said, okay. And so, you know, at the very beginning, the ideas that we had weren't exactly what happened, just like most creative adventures.
Right, sure.
But then it has really now begun to gel, and it's what it is now, and I love it. So it's a half-an-hour show, and it's on KNVC, 95.1 FM.
Yes.
And but it streams on knvc.org, and you can listen to replays there. And I get to interview artists and creatives of all sorts, and
nice.
It's so much fun. And the show, it really gets to be what I want it to be. So I get to be really connected with people and creative, and therefore it's fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, how long have you been a radio show host?
Oh, this is new. Only about, well, the show has only been airing for 4 or 5 months. So that's new. And before that, everything I did media was for the newspaper.
So, I see. Sure.
Yeah. So.
And you like being a radio show host?
I like it.
Fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
And the show, or the station, is growing and opening up new opportunities, and it looks like I will get to have more fun in the future with greater opportunities. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I just use the word opportunity 2 times really close together, so people can say, really, a writer and a radio show host. I wonder if she knows any synonyms.
Exactly. Well, that's fun. Well, to date, how many shows have you had? Are you on like once a week or once a month?
Once a week.
Oh, okay.
And there are, I think, 9 or 10 archived on the website.
Oh, okay.
And then there are several in the can that we're trying to polish up and finish editing. And,
I know that, yeah.
and I'm just, the people that I get to talk to and the people that I have coming in, incredible incredible people. Such a variety of creative people, and it just couldn't be more fun.
It is.
Yeah.
And isn't it fun too? This is what I like from Psychic Creations, and now I'm a radio show host too. Yay! What I like to do is to, well, first of all, get to know that person, okay? But second of all, it's like there's this phenomenal person that's sitting there, you're speaking with them, and it's like, let the world know who you are, what you do. You know, like you were saying, sometimes you just can't get out there. Like, you know, you're talking about your writing, your author, being an author. You have these beautiful works, but you don't know what to do with them.
Right.
You're not like a marketer, I should say.
Not necessarily a marketer.
So I think like with the radio shows, like what I do with Psychic Creations, get you out there. Let people get to know you. And I think that's wonderful. I always like to help people. And I think that if we can help people with our TV shows and our radio shows, I love that.
I think so too. And there are so many interesting stories that people love to hear.
Sure, right.
That you might not otherwise you might never have encountered that person or that particular their interests.
Yeah. And their story.
And their story.
How did they get to be who they are now? Where did their inspirations come from? Where did their talents come from?
Right.
You know, everybody's got a story. And some of them are, I mean, just, they're hilarious. Some of them are like, oh, yes, oh, I'm sorry. You know, but it just, it's your journey. It leads you where you need to be. So I think we're doing a good thing.
I think we are too. And it's all relatable because we're all people. So
exactly. I love the human interest.
Yes. And the human condition.
And the human condition, yes. Yeah, aren't we cool? We're cool.
We're cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
We're so cool.
Well, can you tell our viewers some contact information on where the radio show is, how they can get a hold of you for classes, to sign up for classes, and just everything?
All that stuff.
Yeah.
So knvc.org is where you can find the radio program. Hers too. And you know, we haven't known each other that long, but clearly it's working.
It is working.
Also, the breweryarts.org. Because at the Brewery Arts Center, that's where my classes are. I think they're all there now.
And that is located where?
That is in Carson City. It's on King Street. It's really cool because it's a neat little campus that used to be a brewery, and that's why it got the name. But now it extends, and it's got an old Catholic church that's been renovated to make a performance hall, and there's classroom spaces, and a big parking lot area that's being beautified because they have summer concerts out there.
Yes.
So that's where the painting classes are, which are on Wednesdays, and they're drop-in. So you can show up sometime and join us. And that's where the ceramic sculpting is as well, and where the writing will be, when I get it put back into the next schedule. And let's see. And you can find me at deanahoover.com, and Deana is DEANA. deanahoover.com.
Nice. Are you on Facebook too?
And I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Deana Hoover on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
And my business page on Facebook is Deana's Arts.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I have to check that.
I better send you a link.
I would like that. Yeah, I did not know you had that. So 2 Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you so much, Deana, for being a wonderful guest on our show today. It's an honor to be your friend. It's an honor to know you. It's an honor to be colleagues. Just a big honor all over.
Well,
okay.
For me as well, and thank you for having me on your show. And I'm excited that we're colleagues now.
I know, it is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. Lots of plans at the radio station.
Yeah, big things are happening.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
They are. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the program for today, viewers. And if you would like to be a guest on Psychic Creations, you can contact me. You can contact me at my website, which is www.sandypsychicstones.com, and at my email address, which is admin@sandypsychicstones.com. Thank you for watching Psychic Creations, and we'll see you next show.